This podcast is a member of the Red 5 Network. For more Red 5 Network podcasts and content creators, visit bio.link/red5.
Happy Star Wars Podcast Day.
Woohoo!
We are Using Views. I'm Scott.
I'm Kim.
I'm Nicole.
And real quick, because of the fact that there's going to be so many podcasts going today, and everybody's going to be checking everyone out throughout the day, just real quick on what we do. We review music, we review TVs and movies.
We do it all.
We do. Books.
Books.
We even hit books.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we do here.
Mm-hmm.
We have a big back catalog. A lot of it is on audio only. Just real quick for all of our current listeners and current YouTube watchers. Here shortly, you're gonna probably within the next couple of weeks, you're all gonna see a big jump in videos downloaded or uploaded. And what it's gonna be is a bunch of audio only show of our show from the RSS feed coming from Anchor back over to YouTube. So you're going to see a big jump of new downloaded stuff or uploaded stuff. And it's just going to be the old podcast, but it's going to be audio only stuff because we're going to, YouTube has now given us a feature where we can actually bring the RSS feed over to YouTube. So that's a good thing.
Good morning, Spencer.
And well, Kim, since you started it, go ahead and say hello to everybody in the chat.
Well, hello, everybody in the chat. DJ, Spencer, Hannah.
And anybody else lurking.
Okay, yeah, and anybody else
Right.
lurking. Good morning and welcome to the show.
I know, we're in the morning.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, this is way off for us, just so everybody
Way.
knows.
Well, Scott, we have done this before. We'll be great.
I know, right? Exactly. But let's go ahead and talk about what today is, Star Wars Podcast Day. In 1999, Star Wars Podcast Jedi Talk had their very first episode. And this is the 25th anniversary. And this is, I believe, the 4th annual Star Wars Podcast Day, which is freaking awesome. And what it is, just everybody celebrating the Jedi Talk podcast that, again, premiered today in 1999. And the fact that in 99 I didn't even know what a podcast was.
I know.
I mean, I remember when I first started moving like music over to iTunes. I remember going, what is this podcast stuff? And I didn't check it out. It wasn't something I did until first time I checked out a podcast was 2014 because of Stone Cold Steve Austin had a podcast. I went, well, what's this all about? And that's how I started. That's how I got into the listening podcast. And then as time went on, eventually I wanted to create one.
Yeah.
So anyways, today we are going to be talking about our favorite Star Wars tunes, songs. Well, you're just all bright-eyed, bushy-tailed this morning, aren't you?
I'll have whatever she's having.
Right? I want to know. I almost want to take a sip of her coffee to figure out what the heck is in it. Unlike our normal show where we give a lot of banter and stuff in the beginning of it, today is just we're going to get down to business, which we're going to do right now on the main event, and literally talk about. Well, we're going to talk about Star Wars music and all the composers, including John Williams.
Just knowing another Grammy.
Heck yeah.
Woo!
See how well she does.
I'm reading Spencer's. I think she saw Spencer's comment. That's Scuttlebutt of Dawn.
Yeah, right. What?
Oh,
That's John Williams.
Ludwig Göransson.
Oh, Nicholas.
And he did The Mandalorian.
Well, there's 2 for The Mandalorian because
Yes.
And Joseph Shirley.
John Powell took over the following seasons.
And then Michael Giacchone
For Rogue
Jonah
One.
wrote from Rogue One. John Powell and John Williams for Solo Story, and Kevin Kiner for Ahsoka. Oh, we don't have who did Andor?
Good question. We can look it up. I will say though, I think when we think Star Wars, we immediately think of John Williams. And I get it.
Oh, of course.
He's the OG. He is legendary. He is iconic. I think the second person that finally broke that into that really though was Ludwig, because he has won Grammys and stuff with his music from The Mandalorian. Like you start here, like automatically you're there. Okay.
Yeah.
Not these. Okay. I don't like pinning people together because really that's kind of sucky. But like, I think like that is the closest, because the other ones are great. But then Ludwig comes along and you know what I mean? He's the next one after John Williams to really, I think, capture our attention to the point that we're there, in the scene. All I have to do is and I can all of a sudden it starts playing in my head. It's like John Williams, there's not a few. There is a lot, if not all, of his music that you start hearing certain beats and you're like, you're there. You're transported into the world of either Star Wars or Jaws or Indiana Jones or Harry Potter, and you're there. And
Right.
I love that.
And by the way, it's Nicholas Brittle did the score for Andor.
Awesome.
But yeah, and by the way, welcome Nick, BYT, Backyard TARDIS. Welcome to the morning. And Kim, real quick, Spencer wants to know, are you usually this energetic at the butt crack of dawn?
No, I'm not.
Dude, normally she's not up until 2:00 our time. Which is like 4:00 Eastern. Because she stayed up all night playing her little Disney Dreamlight Valley game. Anyway.
But last night she was good, and thankfully you guys have your guys' electricity. That's why I'm like, oh, please let the power.
I'm just like, thank goodness we didn't lose a wall. And for those of you that watched yesterday's live stream, you understand why. And I don't know why I thought California was done with the rain, but they're still getting it. I feel sorry for them. I mean, they've gotten a lot of friggin' rain the last few days, and crazy amounts of rain. Hopefully this thing dies off quick for them.
Yes.
I mean, luckily it's already moved out. We got sunshine and stuff today, so we're good. Just really humid, 83% humidity.
Special note. Sorry, not to take away, but I was looking up something real quick.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is John Williams' birthday.
Right on.
Yep.
Be 92, right?
What?
It would be 92. Yeah,
I
he's
think
91. I think he's
so.
91 now. Wow. And DJ says Kim is always a bundle of energy. And I was in art, or I would have watched the LOL. You're fine. ART. Something to do with work, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Hey, Andrew. Welcome. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into this. Let's get into it. Who wants to go first? Again, these are, I guess, let me real quick just say, for my list, it is the top, like my 5 songs that I will automatically go to and listen to. These are my go-tos or whatnot. And so
I got another fun fact, and I can't believe I didn't know this.
What?
John Williams' son, Joseph Williams, is also a musical composer.
Makes sense.
Oh my gosh, you guys, he's been doing stuff since 1986.
Wow.
Y'all, how did I not know this until Star Wars Podcast Day?
Oh, that's a good thing, though. See, we learned something today on Star Wars Podcast Day.
What?
Yeah.
Like, he did 20. I mean, I'm look, it's not the same.
Right.
Not the same, okay, you guys. But he did do Disney's Adventures of Gummy Bears from the 80s. What? Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
And I'm just throwing this out because I just think,
There's Elfie.
well, it's officially the show has started.
Yep.
He has made the appearance. The unofficial, official.
And Anderson's from the Science Fiction, John Williams' son, is the lead singer of Toto.
Wow.
What? This is yeah, because all of a sudden I'm just like looking at stuff and all the details that I wrote, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, like I didn't realize. Wow.
This will be fun. Spencer, I know my number one, unsure about the others. And I know DJ said one earlier, real quick. Latest theme is the best. There, I said it.
It is beautiful. I will agree to that. It is beautiful and wonderful.
Spencer, I have a rough top 5.
I have a very rough anything.
Yeah, it's very rough.
Same here.
I don't rank. I have a hard time, but I do
Yeah.
have a favorite. I got lucky. So last night, or lucky, blessed, whatever. I went to our local historic Egyptian theater. There's like only 7 like in the United States, and they're the Egyptian theaters. And they did a showing of Star Wars episode 4, Star Wars: A New Hope. Anyways, and I was, oh my gosh, I'm like, what a way to enter into Star Wars podcasting than to see Star Wars on the big screen. And literally there were times I thought I was going to be in tears. And this is when I'm like, I know which song I'm going to have to be put as number 1. The one that put me like almost near tears, you know? And I remember just being like, oh my God, this is just like, and my friend Brandon, who went with me, he was just like, and then there were just very funny moments. And there are things that I noticed last night that I don't think I noticed before.
Happens every time you go see it. Every time you go watch it again, you will see new stuff.
Just like, and of course, you know, Brandon's laughing because I'm like, yeah, go Red 5. As soon as Luke says Red 5, and I'm like, yeah, like, you know, like cheering up and down for Red 5. But like music wise, though, I was just like completely transformed, and just I loved every moment of it. And if you ever get an opportunity, anybody, you get an opportunity to see it, Star Wars, the original, on the big screen, to see it, don't waste your time. Go see it.
Well,
it's amazing.
Well, technically, it's not the original.
Well, that was the
By the
first
way, hey, hello, you Baldo.
Well, that was the first time I've ever seen Star Wars: A New Hope on the big screen.
Really?
Yes, I've seen Rogue One. I've seen all the prequels, but I've never had the opportunity because I'm never there's.
Yeah, I mean, like my first experience with A New Hope in the theater was the special edition '97.
Right. See, and I didn't get to do that. I didn't get that opportunity. I didn't get that opportunity till last night. And so seeing it, one, in a historical theater that's like over 100 years old, and then this, it was just, oh man, I was on the edge of my seat. I loved it. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. And I just the whole time just couldn't stop. And I understand that it's not the raw originals, you know, but again, it's still an experience, and one that I want to do it again. In fact, I was ready to come home and watch episode 5 and episode 6. I wanted to keep going. I didn't want it to stop.
You know, the thing was, like, last night, me and Kim were talking, and I'm just like, you know, you realize that if it wouldn't have been for Steven Spielberg, you know, yes, we would know who John Williams is because Jaws, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and more likely he would have still done Indiana Jones, you know, just because of the fact that he knew Steven. But if Lucas never met John Williams, Star Wars would be different.
I don't want it to be
completely. I know, but I'm just saying, without John Williams, it would be completely different. You know, so it's one of those things that, you know, thank goodness, you know, Steven knew John, and like, hey, by the way, George, I want you to meet this guy. You know, and luckily John worked with him, and within 2 months after seeing the second screening with George, he went back to his place, and in 2 months wrote the friggin'
music,
the score for the original movie. Like,
yeah,
2 months. It would take me 6 months just to write one song. But yeah.
Well, I have to. Spencer's, you know,
and Nicholas, Backyard Tars, happy you did, I saw that earlier. Happy you did get your power back on. And real quick, Andrew from Science Fictionary hit Mauritian. He used Across the Stars in their wedding. That's freaking awesome.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah.
Spencer mentioned, he's going to end up listening to a lot of Star Wars music. He blames us all.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you should have been blaming me the whole time, Spencer.
Well, yeah,
I listen, and as I've learned that I listen to Star Wars ambience radio unlike someone else that I learned, but that's okay. That's okay. We don't have to all listen to stuff. So I'm listening to Star Wars music all the time when I'm reading Star Wars books, because I love to be transposed into this world. And so I have consistently have John Williams in my ears.
Yeah, this is something that I couldn't do. I mean, again, my mom, I'll give her credit. She was trying everything she could to think about how to help me like do homework and stuff. And she even brought up the idea, well, why don't you try music? And of course, any music, regardless of it was hard rock, any type of music, I would put the homework down and I would just kick back and tap my foot, or and
right.
Yeah, I always get lost in the music regardless of what it is. So for me, if like I said, if like I told John when I was on the fives with you, if I listen to music while reading, the book's gonna get put down and I'm gonna get lost.
We're all different in how we how we take that in, though, and that's okay. Some of us just don't. We like to read in the silence.
And Andrew, if you ever get to see any Star Wars movie with live orchestra, do it. Yeah, I know, right?
It's on mine too.
God. I might seriously leave my body. Like I have seen Titanic like that, and it's amazing.
Movies, music, books, any Star Wars is always awesome.
Yes,
true.
Mm-hmm.
Also at the same time, though, you can also get burned. Not with the. The funny thing is, I don't get burned out with the music, but with like I know, like leading up to Force Awakens and even some of the stuff afterward, where they kept releasing all these books that you had to go buy to understand the story going in. I'm like, I shouldn't have to go buy all these books and read all these books just to be ready for a movie. It's just like because I remember my mom, I don't know what, somewhere in the 90s, where you had the one season of X-Files ended.
Yeah.
Then you had the movie.
Yeah, you did.
In the summer. And then you had, you got yourself ready to watch the beginning of the next season, because it was gonna. This led into the movie, and the movie led into the. I'm like, what?
Our mascots made her appearance again.
But again, I'm just one of those ones where I'm not going to put that much thought and process and time into things. I mean, I've got enough going on now. I don't need to add up on more stuff.
Yeah.
But anyways, are we ready to get to our list?
Yes. Yes.
You start, Scott, because I'm just gonna kind of wing it, except for my number one.
Yeah. I'm gonna start where I kind of put all these, and hopefully I remember where the heck they all came from.
I think Kim caught it.
This is where we need an instant replay button.
It's Elfie about to take it down again.
Like, what is this computer up here for again?
Yeah, exactly.
All righty. Well, I'm gonna start this off. This one comes out of, and I will say this much. I'm gonna be upfront with everybody. Going through a lot of the Star Wars songs, unfortunately, and I think it's just because of how long I've been listening to the music from the movies. All of mine ended up coming from the movies. It's on, or at least for the first 6 movies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I mean, I'm not in disagreement. I guess my important thing is that I still wanted to at least give credit to these other wonderful music composers.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I know most of our hearts are going to land with one particular legendary, iconic composer.
I thought you were Ubaldo.
I thought we were going to Ubaldo's house after this for brunch.
Right.
Did I miss it? I'm sorry. My bad, Ubaldo.
Yeah.
I thought we were having brunch at your house.
All righty. Anyways, mine comes from I'll just call it my number 5. It comes from Revenge of the Sith. Anakin versus Obi-Wan. The first time I heard that score in the theater watching the movie, I fell in love with it. It was one of those ones that captured me. I love the tones in it, and it just sets the mood for that whole battle when they're fighting on Mustafar. Yeah, I mean, and the thing is like that was one thing leading into Revenge of the Sith. That was all I cared about seeing. I didn't care about where the story was going. I didn't care what was going on before. I wanted it. I was like, if they just, because with her, still with her sister at the time, rest in peace, lady. But I'm just like, if they just fast forwarded wherever the heck this part is, I'll be fine. I don't need to see the rest of this movie. I just need to see this battle, this lightsaber battle. That's all I need to see.
Yeah.
Because, my whole thing is I want to see how do we get Vader from Anakin into the suit?
Yeah.
And for me, Anakin versus Obi-Wan, that's one of my favorite friggin' tracks. Next.
Oh, okay.
Next.
So we're okay.
I don't care who goes next. Nicole can go next.
Well, I can actually go next. It doesn't matter. Mine my number 5 actually comes from one of the shows that was most recently released last year. And the only reason why it's this one is because just the time changes and the way the music flows is awesome. And then the graphics they put with this at the beginning is also really good. And that's the Ahsoka theme song for the Ahsoka series. I love just the way it flows, the graphics, everything just fit right in.
I don't remember the song.
I guess he's going to be reviewing it after the show.
Yeah.
It just shows how much I really wasn't into it.
No, I can understand that. Again, and it touches music touches each person differently. And I can see how that would touch, we all love Ahsoka, just the character, but I can totally understand how you would love that because it does, if it moves your heart, then it was meant for you.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't want to interrupt him if she had more to say.
You have more to say?
No, I'm done.
Okay, good. Again, I didn't want to interrupt because I was like, dude, if you want to talk about Ahsoka, I can go for that. That's fun. So I have already mentioned my number 5. Again, go for 5. But I want to bring it up again because again, it does. It is enough to put me there. Okay. And now these are very rough 5s. Okay. Because let me tell you, I love so many things. I don't rank, but here we go. So I have to bring it up again. And that is Lungwin Goranson's, The Mandalorian theme, because the and then all of a sudden I instantly want this guy. Like instantly give me my Grogu, give me Mando, give me rest in peace Carl Weathers, give me Cara Dune. I am ready. As soon as that music hits, I'm like do, and I'm like, let's go on adventures, let's go. So I have to bring that. It's definitely it has to be brought up in this, so that's why I'm going to put him as my number 5. Again, on any given day, my list might change, people, but today I have to bring up The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because I'm also right now still very tenderhearted because of Carl Weathers. That's probably partially it, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Boo. Okay, there I said it. Got it out.
The ship is now under new management, so the previous complaints and suggestion boxes have been launched into space. Thank you for your thoughts.
That was from Lego Star Wars.
Figure Star Wars podcast. I'll switch the whole soundboard over to what I had up for.
I love it.
Lego Star Wars.
Okay, can I make one comment before you go on?
Look,
Of course.
Nick's got a premiere coming up. I just got a notification. Backyard Charles has a premiere coming up.
Nice.
Yay!
Actually, since we are going on to number 4, my number 4.
Well, was Nicole done?
Were you done?
Yes, we're good.
Okay.
We're good.
All right, yeah,
I
go
want
back
to hear
to you.
Kim's comment. I assume.
Anyway, my number 4 actually mirrors Nicole's number 5, and that was the Mandalorian
There
theme.
we go.
Yay! I'm telling you, it's special.
And
I mean,
yeah.
This guy's special.
Yeah.
And hold up, we can't forget that Tusken Raiders are special. Which, by the way, like seeing again Star Wars: A New Hope on the big screen made me go, I want a bantha. And then I started singing Cam Ray's like a bantha. If you don't know what I'm talking about, folks, and you're just listening for the first time, Cam Ray Semi Productions, look him up.
Yeah,
Like a
definitely
bantha.
Yeah,
Like
go
a
to
bantha.
Camera. Definitely go to Camera. You will.
Look at that face.
He is
This
hilarious.
is as close as I'm going to be able to fit in my house for a bantha. So
I think besides like a bantha, some of my favorite Camera stuff is when he does that. It's a load of Star Wars where he's at he's really just giving everybody, saying everything that everybody else is saying. People literally getting those comments and literally like, dude, if you hate it so much, why are you watching? I'm like, do you not understand? This is a joke. He is not being serious at this moment.
No.
This is Cam Ray. But yeah, I mean, Cam Ray Semi Productions. Check him out. I'm gonna hit the camera real quick. Got it a little bit. I know why I moved it way over there because the little thing underneath that had our names. Anyways, alrighty. Well, you'll notice a trend to Scott's list here, right, coming up, because literally when I was making this, I'm like, yeah, my definitely top 3 are what we got pounding?
I don't know.
it's Alphaba.
Oh, like what the heck?
That must be your tail going.
Well, so she got excited by the music.
Yeah.
Got it.
She was keeping the beat for us.
She was giving us the drums.
He's like, y'all are talking about music. Like, why can I not compose?
Oh, exactly.
Seriously.
Anyways, there's a little bit of a trend to this, but anyways, my number 4 comes from The Phantom Menace.
Yes.
Duel of the Fates. You start off with that big choir. And again, another piece of music, just like everything John Williams does, fits along with the fight between Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and Darth Maul.
Yes.
And it's just another one. It's one of those ones that as soon as I heard it in the theater the first time, I went, "Hello, John Williams, you're a god." Of course, my wife at the time looked at me and said, "Really? He's an idol, whatever the heck they call it."
Yeah.
Where like a golden calf type thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go. Yeah, I don't really care about him. Made her mad, but no, I'm just like, oh wow, okay, John Williams, you really outdone yourself now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was another one. Again, most of these are either from hearing them in the theater or even currently, constantly watching them over and over and over. Where again, like we're saying, these grab you.
Yeah.
They do something to you. They it's a piece that sticks with you the whole time.
Yeah.
Which is ironic, because technically, really, my overall number 1 should really be a certain thing, but it's not, which is weird. But anyways, we'll get there. I digress.
Well, I said my number 4, so now it's Nicole's turn.
Oh, that's right. Whew.
Well, why? No, actually, yeah. Okay, yeah.
It's okay. We're all good.
I should have it on the
Okay.
other page right now.
So my number 4 is Star Wars: The Cantina Band, composed by John Williams. However, given instructions by George Lucas himself, because he wanted a little bit of an echo swing. And fun fact with this, the actors who played in the band were Rick Baker, Phil Tippett, John Perg, Lane Liska, Doug Bestwick, and Tom St. Amand. These people don't usually get talked about, so That's my number 4. Chill. Anyways, we give you twinsies. You know, great minds think alike. It's all good, Spencer. And again, it's like, you know, a disco version. Even last night when it started playing, this is me in my seat. I'm in the theater and I'm instantly like, hope I'm not bothering anybody.
I wish I had the LP over here. So in the LP, it talked about one is the only song that he didn't use the London Symphony Orchestra on.
I know, and it's more of a disco. It's supposed to be like disco-y, but doesn't feel like disco-y, you know?
Right. It's definitely disco-y with a swing feel to it.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I was like, heck yeah. But yeah, I again, that was one of those, you know, little tidbits of that paperwork that we got that was inside the record. I'm like, oh look at this. Here this is. Because I mean, some of the things too, Kim was like looking up stuff, going, "Isn't there one called this?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm looking through the record. I'm like, "Where is it? Where?" And then it dawned on me that because he like on the record, he only took like 68 minutes, 74 minutes, or something of the 88 total minutes of the movie, and combined it down onto the LPs. They're like, "Oh, they combined a lot of stuff that really." And then I got it because then when the 97 special editions came out on CD, you had finally the full score in chronological order as it plays in the movie. Starts with the 20th century fanfare and right through everything. Like, yeah, I mean, you can literally sit back, listen to it, and close your eyes and you'll see the movie.
Oh yeah,
the movie will play in your head.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yes, but, yes.
Anyways, yes. Real for me to add on to the Cantina band, that was my number 2.
Are we already on number 2?
No, but you
confused me, man.
I know, you're fine. No, because earlier, like when you did Mandalorian, Kim came back with like what her was that. Gotcha. So for me, Cantina Band is number 2. And again, it's one of those, you know, that was like the first song. The first time I saw A New Hope, finally saw it, that was a song that stuck out to me. You know, it just, and it's always been a fun track for me. Kim.
Okay. My number 3 is.
I still got my thing wrong. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was grabbing something to prepare for the next thing.
Okay. Morning, Alan.
Morning, Alan. Anyway, my number 3 is the Throne Room and end title of Star Wars: A New Hope. Only because
the Throne Room celebration.
Yeah, the Throne Room celebration.
Where Leia does not give Chewbacca a medal.
And Chewbacca has something to say about it.
Right?
But the ending.
The ending and the end title of it. And again, it's one of those songs that it's smooth as they're walking down to receive the medals. Then after they receive the medals, it has that pop to it. That pop, that key.
Like you're popping right in the microphone.
The change in the music, because you got a smooth music and then you got a more of like an upbeat music. So it's like, I love the way that was actually totally composed for the movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was awesome. Spencer says the end thing was very close to make my top 5, but went with what came to me first. Exactly. That's how it rolls. You know, it's like, you know, we've been saying this whole time. I mean, a few of these could change depending on moods.
Oh yeah.
The problem is like Nicole said earlier, trying to actually put these in the top 5 is a joke. I mean, it'd be like me choosing my favorite grandchild.
There is no choice. Yeah.
So mine is all squirrely. I'm even going back and forth even right now. Like, what's my next one?
Yeah, right.
Go ahead, Nicole.
And
but I'm going to stick
number
with
3
it.
Spencer saying his number 3 is Duel of the Fates.
See, and I was going back. Do I do Duel of the Fates? But I don't want to be twinsies.
Right.
So I'm going with.
Spencer, even the top 10 would be tough. Yoda's theme
from Dagobah, because I love when he plays that. John Williams composed it with he's the London Symphony Orchestra. But like, if you're listening to even E.T. closely, he plays around and he adds it. And I love Yoda, and I love like just like when we're watching a newer show like The Mandalorian or something, and then all of a sudden they bring that in. They bring in something different, or any of the shows that we're watching, and all of a sudden we're like, oh, we know that. And I love that. So that's why I have to include Yoda's theme. Even though I do love Duel of the Fates. It's so hard, you guys. I know. I got giants. I just don't have a giant Wookiee. That's a problem. There you go. There you have it.
And just a friendly reminder from our security department.
Our condolences to all those who lost pets and colleagues to that barbaric porg.
Oh gosh! All right. Well, we're going Empire time.
Oh yeah, mine was Empire Strikes Back too.
Yep, it was.
Sorry, I
No,
just
you're
had
fine.
to.
Nope, you're fine.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go with the duel.
There we go.
The duel between Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader.
Yes.
What a masterful piece of music. Again, it incorporates part of Imperial March in it. And again, it's one of those ones where you close your eyes and you're witnessing the whole scene again. Obviously, for those of us who have seen these movies a million times.
Pleasant Gold.
If you're newer and just barely watch them, yeah, you may not have the quite part, but don't worry. The more you watch them, the more you pay attention to the music, you'll hear the cues.
Yeah.
And then when you hear the cue or listening to a CD or listening to on streaming or whatnot, you're going to go, okay, yeah, I know where I'm at. Even if it's out of order.
Yeah. It's true.
But yeah, for me, the duel from
Yes.
Empire.
Yep.
But we would never told you what happened to your father.
He told me enough.
He told me you killed him. I am your father. No, that's impossible.
Yes. They've been well watched.
Severely well watched. It's probably another reason why I don't watch them, because of the fact that I will sit here and I will do every bit of dialogue.
Yeah.
I thought my mom. All right, quick funny story. I thought my mom and my grandma were gonna murder me and my uncle. My uncle was just on leave from the Navy, and we went to the local Circle K there in Payette, Idaho, rented all 3 movies. And yep, put in episode 4, A New Hope, both was back and forth with each other with the dialogue. They're like, can we just enjoy the movie? No, we're enjoying it. Get done with A New Hope, be kind, rewind, throw in Empire, boom, back and forth again. Rewind that one, put in Return, back and forth.
I would be joining. I would not be mad. I'd be like, yeah, give me popcorn, give me all the goodies, let's go. Like,
Exactly. Because it's just one of those things, when you've seen a movie, especially, I've seen these movies a few hundred times. I mean, I can do it also with like Wrath of Khan, maybe not the motion picture as much, but I know Wrath of Khan I can do it with because I've watched it a million times. And yes, I know on the Star Wars Day I'm bringing up Star Trek. Blasphemy! How dare you!
Well,
because I'm a weirdo and I like them both.
Yeah, well.
And I like Battlestar Galactica, so that old one. You
Yeah.
take the new one, turn that sucker sideways, and
Now. We're talking Star Wars.
I was going to do The Rock.
oh my gosh. This is going to
Anyways.
have if everyone leaves here today listening to Star Wars or watching Stars, our
Right.
work here is done.
Exactly.
Alrighty. Mine was okay. Yeah, okay. We're done with the duel.
Okay. So are we on number 2 then?
Wherever number you're supposed to be on, Joe. Originally.
Yeah.
I mean, I only got a number, so I knew where the heck I was still at.
Yeah. I have my number 2 here.
I mean, really, when it comes down to it, number 1 is always my number 1, and after that, it don't matter.
Yeah. Okay. So my number 2, yes, this made the list, comes from Return of the Jedi. And it is
Yub nub.
exactly.
Yeah, woo!
That's what it is.
Where's my Ewok ears?
Same here, Yubaldo. Same here.
So yes, my number 2 is Yub Nub.
By the way, just so everybody knows, that's not the actual name of the song. It's called
No,
Ewok
Celebration
Celebration
and
title.
Finale. Yeah.
Or finale.
Mm,
Right.
mm, mm, mm.
But yes, it made the list.
Why do I feel like you should be Chris Jericho? Yub nub, you just made the list.
So yes, I like that one because it's an upbeat song, it's a celebration, it's their victory. They're just celebrating with each other. So, but yeah. And the dance the Ewoks do is cool too.
Good point, Spencer.
Yeah.
Thank you. See, Spencer. Thank you.
But yes, I'm done now.
All right. So my number 2 can be any one of these. It could be Cross the Stars. It could be Leia's theme. It could also be Ewok Celebration. But I have to still mention the Star Wars theme song. Hello. Dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
There's
I
my number
mean,
2.
Yeah,
It
like I
was all
said,
of it. I can't.
I'm looking at my list going, oh, well, yeah, there's one I missed. I mean, I was already thinking of it, looking at my list going, I mean, you just get, I mean, especially when you go back, you think about it, watching it for the first time in the theater. I mean, for me, Empire Strikes Back was the first one. You get that 20th century. By the way, for Empire Strikes Back, the 20th century fanfare was re-recorded by the London Symphony Orchestra with John Williams conducting, because it hadn't been redone since like the 40s.
Oh,
so
wow.
you go listen to A New Hope's version of it, right?
Uh-huh.
You can definitely get that nostalgia. You can
Nostalgic.
well, you can feel it being older,
Yeah.
where you can tell, okay, yeah, there's a change. And if you go play them back to back, there's a change. You're like, okay, get it. So yeah, I mean, and then I mean, again, it's one of those things where
people, it's hard.
Right, exactly. Nicole copied me again.
I did not. I didn't mention other ones. I said among.
Well, and that's the thing. Like we said earlier, I mean, even trying to put these in a list, it is a pain in the rear. Because you start going through all the songs. I mean, I can even go through the newer ones and go, oh yeah, no, there's that one there. Oh yeah, that one grabbed me. Especially out of Force Awakens and Rise of Skywalker, I would probably have to really go listen to Last Jedi just to see what songs were there.
Yeah, it's just like what's been said previous. It's so hard when you're doing Star Wars music to literally have a list of 5, because every piece of music for every movie, no matter what scene, has its own special value. Spencer
said it earlier, even a top 10 would be tough.
Yeah. Because,
and I agree.
Yeah.
John Williams alone.
Yeah. Because every song that was ever written for any Star Wars has a special meaning for someone,
right. Well,
or a story behind it.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, Nicole.
Go ahead, Nicole.
We're talking about number 1s.
Oh, wait, you just went. My gosh.
I just.
Yeah.
We're on to number 1.
Yeah. Well,
I got mine. I can share. I don't mind.
We'll just go around the circle again.
Okay.
For me, number one, obviously. Dun 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 dun. Bum 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 dun 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 dun. The Imperial March.
I knew it. I knew it.
Well, you should know this since you're my wife.
I knew that was going to be his number one.
Is that like when he wakes up? Is that the song that plays?
It should be. That should be the song that plays when I arise in the morning.
It's Kim's
Or whenever I
morning.
arise. There you go, you ball. Right on. 6 hours of Star Wars music on my Spotify. And it keep getting longer.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. But yeah, Imperial March, again. Right on, Spencer. There you go. Imperial March is my number one as well.
Oh, good. We don't have the same one.
But yeah, I mean, that music, oh gosh, the first time I heard it, it was like, oh yeah, this is power. This just exudes the power of Darth Vader, and a lot of time people, especially younger kids, will use that as their catalyst to, oh, that's the evil guy. That's evil. It's an evil song. And it's like, well, it's not really evil, but whatever. But yeah, Imperial March for me, I begged and begged in high school for our pep band to play this, and I got shot down every bringing time. I was so pissed.
Yeah.
This is one song I wanted to do. And she's like, I remember the band teacher, like, when we're going to play it, I'm like, when we're about to friggin' score a touchdown.
Yeah.
Well, you think you're going to play it?
Yeah, exactly.
Or you can play it all the time during defense, while defense is
Yeah.
on the field, but oh my gosh.
Shake my head, Spencer.
You're picking your own number one this time, Nicole.
Pick my listing.
Oh, there you go. Although it's my ringtone exactly. For the
Well, I
longest
mean,
time.
look at who you're talking to.
Yeah, exactly. And if I would actually go and purchase ringtones and stuff, it would be my ringtone all the way around. It wouldn't matter who the hell was calling. It could be Kim and it'd still be the Imperial March.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I just want to hear it go off all the time.
Uh-huh.
Unless it was my mother calling, then it'd probably be the theme song from Exorcist. Oh, and with that being said,
Kim,
oh,
bring us back up.
A reminder that tomorrow's Bring Your Pet to Work Day is cancelled following last year's tragic porg incident.
Oh gosh, when those played in the game, I went, "Excuse me, what?"
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't play Kim's favorite though.
A new Captain Special will be served in the cafeteria today. Deep fried gorg.
No, pork
No.
is not
Porgs are
food.
friends.
Exactly, Nicole.
Want to serve, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Kim, what you got?
All right.
Not a porg.
No, not pork. Okay, so this one, the only reason why I picked it is from when I first remember watching Star Wars: A New Hope. This one stood out to me, and it was not only the part of the movie
I'm
that
feeling we're the same.
yeah,
How's
that
it
I
going,
am
Spencer?
feeling all of a sudden.
yeah, that it wasn't only the way that it was placed in the movie, but it was the way the character was, the way Luke was. He had come out he had come out and was looking at the sky, and he looked, even though he wasn't really at peace, he came across as he was at peace, and it's the Binary Sunset song from Star Wars. I love that scene.
So ironic part, real quick, before Nicole says hers, like I already know where she's going with this. Is when you look on the record, it does not say Binary Sunset. I had literally had to go through and read everything, and it is under the original track called "The Princess Appears." Because what they did on the record was they included the spot where Luke is cleaning out R2 and gets the hologram of Leia. Then it goes, and at the end of it goes into the Binary Sunset. But she took the Binary Sunset completely off of the 97 special edition re-release. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Again. Go ahead, Nicole.
Okay, so I'm going to take my inspiration from my own thoughts. Two quick things before I add in here, before I announce it, even though everyone already knows. You know, every time I take a walk at the sunset or at sunrises, this song plays in my head. When I see the fiery pinks and oranges in the sky at night, I literally stop and I can hear this song. That's how much this song is into my heart and soul. And last night when I heard it in the Egyptian Theater on the big screen, I literally, I could feel the tears welling up. It was beautiful. It was great. It actually also goes by the name of Force Theme, but it is, of course, as Kim said, the Binary Suns. Well, sometimes some people call it Twin Suns too, but Binary Suns is the official song other than Force Theme. And oh my gosh, I'm with Kim. I mean, even like when I'm looking at our background screen right now, it's of a sunset. And I can literally kind of almost see Luke looking in, like that would be me. Like that is me. I'm Kim and I are obviously opposite of the very Sith-like answer that Scott gave. But I just like wanted to soak it in. And that is literally, I just love it. I just soak it in, love it.
So ironic you said that, because I'm the same way. When I see the sunset, regardless of where I'm at in the world, I automatically start hearing the Binary Sunset play.
Yes. I'm just like, okay.
That's why I mean, seriously, when it boils down to it, for me, especially out of the original 3 movies, yeah, every freaking song there's got a special place somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I know earlier DJ mentioned Leia's theme, and yes, it is a beautiful piece.
It's beautiful.
And again, when you're, and of course we didn't talk to each other and say, okay, this is the ones I'm gonna go with.
No, we didn't.
Because this is what makes this stuff fun, because it's like, how close are we, or how different are we on some things? But then again, it's just like, again, we keep saying, Spencer brought it up earlier, even making a top 10 would be tough. And I'm literally saying, don't even have, I mean, if you had me make me rank the albums, soundtrack albums, well, I would put Empire first, just like I put Empire first in my overall Star Wars lineup, because of the fact that it was the first movie I ever saw in the theater. Yeah. That's the only reason why it's there.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, number 1 should always be A New Hope, because that is what started this nightmare. What started this fandom. This is what started this whole crazy world universe we love so much.
Yeah.
It was A New Hope that started it all. So really, A New Hope should it be everybody's number 1, but it's not, because there are people whose number 1 is Return of the Jedi, because that was the first one they saw in the theater.
Me.
I saw, like I said, I saw Empire. That's why it's my number 1. Plus, I love the darkness of that movie. Yeah. That movie is, you come from A New Hope. And again, watching them for the first time, when you finally got to watch them 4, 5, and 6, wow. Talk about being put together real well, because I mean, you've got all the the hero stuff from the first one, Luke becoming Luke, and then all of a sudden you get to this dark the dark middle part, and again, Lucas did this on purpose.
Yes, he did.
And then you get to Return of the Jedi, and again, it's personally, you're going into it, can our heroes, first of all, can we save Han? Can our heroes can they overcome everything that they just went through?
Yeah.
And when they do, you're just as in that, Ewok celebration, Nub Nub is playing. You're just as excited for them as you were,
Yeah.
because you're happy that they won.
Yes. John Williams and other Star Wars composers are storytellers as well. The music tells the story.
It does.
This is what I love about Harry. I was thinking John Williams and Harry Potter too. John Williams, almost anything. I can almost see anything that he's composed, except for Lugwin. I can also see his. It's like, again, I said it at the beginning, it transposes you, but again, you can, like, if I just put on the music from each soundtrack, I can play the movie in my head. That is how beautiful the storytelling has become in the musical notes that he composed, and each person has played the beautiful music. Oh my gosh, like, it's wonderful.
We go through, when you go through schools, schooling, and you go through like music, even in elementary school, you're taught about Amadeus, you're taught about, or
Beethoven. Yeah.
Tchaikovsky, you're taught about Bach, you're taught about all these great composers. And then when as we've gotten older, we realize that we've got one in our own day.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yes. John Williams is our Bach, Beethoven. He is our great composer.
Yeah, he is.
Yes. The thing is, the one thing about all great composers is they've taken their music from somewheres.
Yeah, they have.
Except for which one was deaf?
It was, I believe it was Beethoven.
Besides Beethoven, I mean, and for him to make the pieces he did, hello.
Yeah.
I applaud. But other than that, they hear stuff out and they're going to take pieces. I guarantee there's a lot of John Williams stuff that, yes, is taken from different stuff he's heard. Because it's the same thing with music, overall music. I mean, there's people that sit there and say, oh, well, this song does this song does that. It takes from this. Right. You've only got so many chords on the guitar. Things are going to come across the same a lot of times,
Yeah.
But again, it doesn't matter, because these movies are not these soundtracks, could easily go down. Easily, if my mood is right, will be the ones I go to first.
Yeah. Ibaldi said that even.
Where is it?
Even said, great point, Scott. It's hard to make the top 10 or 20 from all the music, which he's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And believe me, trying to come up with this list, I knew what my first one would be. I already knew that.
Yeah.
But then trying to put the rest of it together, I'm like, well, I could put the duel next. But then it's like, but it's also got part of Imperial March in it, so I don't really. But then, like, no, what's the next song that really grabbed me? I'm like, oh yeah, Cantina.
Yeah.
The Cantina Band song. And so that's how I kind of really looked at it, is what really just grabbed my attention. And of course, I told Kim last night, I could easily take all of them. I could have made my top 5 straight out of A New Hope.
Yeah.
And I was really shocked that when I was going through this, trying to come up, I'm like, I'm thinking of Mandalorian. I'm like, okay, but I like songs out of there too. But when I, and again, it became one of those things like, again, Ubaldo said it. It's hard to make the top 10 or 20 from. It's hard to make the top 10 or 20 from all the music.
Yeah, and then he followed up with this.
Star Wars music is known everywhere in the world that you don't even seen the movies.
Yeah.
Right.
He even received honorary Knight Commander of the Order of the British Empire from Queen Elizabeth II for his services to film music.
Right.
Yeah.
That does not include Academy Awards, Grammys, anything else.
Well, and the fact that you just mentioned it, you mentioned it very back to the beginning of the show. He just won his last Grammy for Dial of Destiny.
Yeah.
The last Indiana Jones movie, just barely made it to Disney Plus, but he just won a Grammy for that soundtrack.
Yeah.
Amazing.
The man is still to this day makes great music.
Yeah, he does.
And I believe it was for Helena's theme.
Yeah, it was for Helen's theme.
Helen or Helena?
I don't remember.
I don't even. But you know, again, yes, this wasn't supposed to be a full-on love affair for John Williams, but it's hard not to. And again, Nicole said it perfect. You know, every one of those films, even the ones that don't have John, the Solo, Rogue One, the Andor TV show, the Ahsoka, or even
Mandalorian, Obi-Wan,
those are all great because these people, these new composers, yes, they've taken what John did, but they put their own spin on it.
Yes.
Right.
And heck, I need to bring up the one from the only soundtrack ever released from a Star Wars video game, Shadows of the Empire.
Yeah.
I totally forgot to bring that one up because by now I believe that's not even canon anymore.
Yeah.
Which it was because that game was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Anyways. Yes, Ubaldo. John Williams will always be our ultimate legend for us. Exactly.
Yeah.
He will be the one that we always, and you know what? I hope for my grandkids' sake, I hope that they have someone come along in their time that they later in life will go, wow, this is like our John Williams, our Beethoven, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. When time rolls on, who's that next great composer? Obviously, they're probably not even born yet.
Well, I feel like we have many great composers.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean,
I don't want to discredit, but just John Williams is iconic and legendary. And if it wasn't for him, just like it wasn't for Beethoven and Ludwig, these other ones wouldn't, you know what I mean? Right. It would be slightly different.
Right. But yeah. Anyways, anybody else got any final thoughts?
Nope.
Besides, we want to thank everybody that joined us in the chat. We're not going to do our normal go through the banners and stuff. Just right there. Throughout the day, if you just search out Star Wars Podcast Day 2024, hashtag Star Wars Podcast Day 2024, or hashtag SWPD 2024, you will find everyone who is doing Star Wars Podcast Day shows, including Nicole doing On the Fives.
Yep.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm sure I'll have music playing in my head when I'm just so excited because it's author Adam Bray. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I'm trying to geek out and nerd out now because I want tonight to be my professional self. But I'm excited for that. And Ro is my guest co-host. I'm so excited because it's just going to be a fun time. I'm just excited. It's
awesome. What time's that?
6 o'clock. I know. Why? I don't know why we didn't go 7. Now I'm like, why didn't I go 7? But I think
6 Central.
Yeah. So I'm like, why did we choose that? I don't know
8
why.
8 Eastern, 5 Pacific.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope I'm awake by then. I've got no, unfortunately,
I know.
Once we get done with this, I've got to literally lay down, go to sleep because, as we mentioned yesterday, we're losing the power at 11 p.m. tonight.
Yeah.
And it's off till 4 a.m. And I use a CPAP machine, so Kim don't want me dying, so I will be up from 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. with just my phone until this battery dies. But anyways, this is great. It was fun. I'm happy we got to participate again in Star Wars Podcast Day. This is our second time doing it.
Yes.
Again, this is the 4th annual. Again, the reason why this evening exists, why this day evening exists is because of Jedi Talks, the very first Star Wars podcast released on this date, February 7th, 1999, 25 years ago today. And as always, thank you everyone for joining us in the chat. If you are watching this later, please give it a thumbs up on the like. Give us a like. If you don't like it, hey, that's up to you. And if you're listening to this as an audio, if you're listening to on Audible or Amazon, you can leave a review. I know I can get those ones. And if you listen on Apple, iTunes, or podcasts, where the hell it's called nowadays, you can leave a review there. I will see it. Otherwise, take a picture of it, shoot one of us a DM. We will read it on the show. Unfortunately, we don't do funny voices, but who knows?
I can try.
We can try something one day. Who knows? Maybe we can try something. I mean, but until we come back with another show, which
should be soon. I think Kim and I still have one to redo since I wasn't feeling well last weekend.
Yes,
so
yes.
We'll
Kim and Nicole will be coming back with the 65th anniversary of Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty.
Mm-hmm.
Like, which movie was it? There's so many of those.
See, you can hear the music.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Until then, have a great day. Star Wars Podcast Day. Have a great week.
And a great weekend.
Be kind to everyone. Peace.
Peace.
Good night, everybody.
Good.